Hi, love, and welcome to Queerify, formerly known as Quest, a journey to wellness, where we help to demystify wellness for cutie BIPOC. And if you didn't know, I'm V, aka Loveness Monster. I'm a two-spirit human, joy influencer, and all pronouns accepted. Today, we have Gigi back. Gangsta Gurry is back with an Aries season reading for y'all. Gangsta Gurry, New York living, author writing of the Tarot for You and Me, a queer deck and guidebook, and also a host of the podcast Mystic Moments. So if y'all are unsure, schmoogle. If you're like, what the heck is schmoogle? That's my weird way of saying Google. But yeah, y'all, like, here we go for Aries season reading. And just think, what does Aries season have in store for you? That's what this episode's about. But I can't go too much into detail because you'll have to listen to Gary. Because the way Gary says it, y'all are going to be laughing probably about 80 to 90% of this episode. It is hilarious because this fiery diva, fearless energy coming our way for Aries season, y'all better put on your seatbelts because we're in for quite a season, y'all. So if y'all know anybody, anyone at all, that might need some help during this fiery, very fiery season, please share this episode with them so they can have some insight on how to handle the fire coming their way. It'll help them, it'll help you, and it'll help us. And for y'all who have been tuning in to our monthly Zodiac tarot readings, guess what? We are going to have Gigi come back with us to the end of the season. So I hope y'all enjoy this episode because it's hilarious and informative. So enjoy the Vajiji, aka me and Gigi creates Vajiji. Welcome back to the Vajiji.
Where are you going tonight, girl? I'm going to the Vajiji. What is that, girl? You don't even know. Okay. Vajiji. How do you spell that? Can I Google it? What's the address? The Vajiji is a speakeasy. I think that is a vibe, honestly. You got to knock on the door twice.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. After like a certain hour, and then the door opens. I think that's the vibe it gives. Very underground shit.
Absolutely. Password.
Yes.
Password. Ho exists.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, ladies, come with your study buns ready to go. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hair done. Okay. Perfect.
Well, speaking of study buds, how was the last pull? How did it unfold for you? What did it give you?
Well, I will say, because I do remember, if I remember correctly, the last card that I pulled when we were together the last time was like the 8 of Swords, if I'm not mistaken. I always think about that as far as like being in jail, like that jail that we kind of like created for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But then we realized, wait, I have the key, or wait, actually these bars are not like locked in, so I can actually get out of here. And as I'm like sitting here and thinking about it, because I feel like the first month that we did like our poll and everything, and it was like, you know, get up, get the movement, get the action. I was like, I'm not ready. This time around, however, I feel like I was able to pull myself up out the mud a little bit and really just feel like things are on, I don't want to say necessarily like an upward trajectory, but there's just like this sense of like feeling back to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at me. I didn't even have a haircut the last time I was here. Like I was in the midst of going through it. Okay. And like, if you didn't notice, like, I'm gonna tell y'all, there was a diva down in Diva Town. Okay. Diva down. Okay. And I'm happy to report I'm still here, still kicking. Okay. Diva's not fully down. She's making it do what it do. But I feel like over the last like couple of weeks since we like connected on the show, it just feels like I'm trying to like figure out how I even ended up there. You know what I mean? And like what created that. And I think like right now, what I'm trying to do is really just like reacclimate myself to like the world and reacclimate myself to just like communicating with people. Cause like I said, swords are all about communication. So I think half of it is really about like knowing where you are and being able to like speak to it. So I feel like I've just been trying to maneuver my way from the jail, el cárcel, that I found myself in for like the last like couple of months and trying to like move forward. So I'm really excited for like what's on the horizon. How about you?
So much of that saying to me right now. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
I think I too was in like a weird place the past couple of months. And in terms of like communication, like definitely, I want to say a lot of that had to do with communicating to myself the truth, but also communicating with like family and arriving as my true self and not like watering myself down or shrinking myself to fit certain spaces. So I think that in terms of what unraveled for me is like I was able to show up in spaces where I usually shrink myself and just arrive without holding myself back and causing a bigger issue. Because I guess I'm being cryptic about it because I'm not trying to spill my tea on my family and everything.
Real.
But basically, the way I was arriving was like still that young little kid that was trying to like say the right things and end up saying some dumb shit and then, ended up having to be on the defense on both sides of the receiving and giving. And this time I was received as an adult. So me a couple episodes talked about stepping into my main character energy.
Amen.
And I felt that. I felt that this time, like I was being received as an equal and not beneath somebody.
What do you think contributed to that this time, though? Like, what was the shift for you to like make that happen? Because this is some good shit.
Honestly, I've been doing a lot of work on my attachment styles and my attachments to certain beliefs, and also just kind of I have like a really good support group that's like, yo, what you have to say is important. Let it be heard. And I think that I have that elder that I tell you that I seek counsel with. And she was like, if you keep arriving as that child, you will keep being received as that child.
Wow.
So next time you go in front of them, speak to them like they're your homies, like they're your friends. Like, of course, with a layer of a little bit more respect, so they'll be received differently because they're not just going to go off the mouth like you do with some of your friends that understand where you're coming from.
You like
You
that.
know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because she was like, if you arrive already ready for battle, you're going to receive battle.
Word. Listen.
And I was like, oh.
Thoughts become things, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you think it and if you believe it, you will receive it that way. So it was like you had to shift your mindset around how you were going to be received and kind of like put yourself in a place of like, listen, I'm coming to you 100, y'all come to me 100, we're meeting each other in the middle, instead of it sounding like there was like that friction. And I think the other part of it is like you had to do that reckoning within yourself first, because nobody else can do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a complete nerd. There's this thing that I'm really into, it's called heart math. And they say they're doing like a lot of like science stuff that's measuring like the electromagnetic field that comes out from your heart.
Okay.
And they measured the same electromagnetic space from the mind, from the brain. The brain was only like, I could be getting these numbers wrong, but was only like 3 inches, and from the heart was 3 feet.
Wow.
So if you're coming in the mind space of like, I'm ready to fight, it's gonna fall into that heart space, and 3 feet, they already know you're coming to fight.
Yes.
Because that electromagnetic space is entering their space, and they're like, okay, it's time to buck up. Like, here we go. But I was like, okay, if I can control what my mind is thinking, it'll create that space that I'm putting out. Like, yo, I'm coming with love. That'll already like take their defenses down.
It's the vibe. It's like you were
So
emitting the vibe that you wanted to like receive back.
Yeah. So that's the other part of like my nerd stuff of like also including the science with the spiritual.
I love that.
If that makes any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. And I'm like, listen, like, because that is a lot of hard work. I just want to like also commend you and give you your kudos because that's not easy. And it's a constant like,
thank you.
You have to remind and reframe and like, you know, like talk to yourself and like really put yourself in a place where you are kind of like putting that into a loop. So that way you're able to stick it out the way that you know that you're supposed to. And that takes a lot of work. And that also takes a lot of maturity. Because sometimes it's so easy to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to come and whatever has been happening, whatever my truth is, I'm going to live that truth. And sometimes that truth is not the truth that you want to like, you know, encapsulate in your experience. So the fact that you're able to like make that shift, it also makes you feel freer. It like allows you to feel like this sense of like freedom and also this sense of like presence, which then brings you even closer back to yourself and just like really appreciating you for like who you are, where you are, instead of like, you know, because sometimes I feel like we can talk real bad to ourselves. I know I'm very guilty of it, of like really talking some nasty shit, calf shit to myself. And I'm like, listen, like, that's not what we deserve. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do not have to struggle.
Yeah.
Like, that is not what life is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Like, we do not have to be beholden to, or we do not have to be like in this mind frame of thinking that struggle is the only way to like, you know, survive. Like, there's so much more to be able to live past that. So that's really dope.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes to like electromagnetic fields are magnets. You attract what you're putting out. And if you're putting out lack, you're going to keep attracting lack. And that was also something Juju Bay taught me on one of her episodes.
Shout out to Juju Bay. That's my bae. I love her. Okay. Come on now, preaching the gospel.
We love you.
We love you.
Yeah. And that craziness of like also like talking like bad on yourself, like that comes with holding the swords, that prison. Like that is your prison. That is your prison you're holding yourself in. And it's so easy to be there because nobody knows.
Yes. Unless you let people into that. And like, it's so interesting because I actually just had a conversation with a really good friend of mine, not yesterday, on Friday. And we were talking about where I've been like for like the past month, because I'd been really like detached from like my friends or like my family, like not answering phone calls, not answering texts. Like I was just going through it because I know we've spoken offline about like the skin condition that I have, and I haven't brought that up on the show before, but I have this like really like rare skin condition that like takes like a lot of, it's like a chronic issue that I have. And because I was like going through it, I really didn't want to like bring anybody like else into it. So I like missed his birthday, like missed his like birthday celebration and stuff like that. I felt like really guilty. And he was like, sister, like I understand like what you were going through, but like you also have to do better with telling us what's going on. You know what I mean? Like letting us into like what's actually happening. But you know, sometimes, and I don't know if you deal with this, there's like this sense of, will people get it? Will people actually understand the severity of like what's happening? Will people actually understand the emotional weight that like these situations that are putting me in this, you know, this jail cell, this, you know, confinement is actually making me feel? But I think a lot of the times we stop ourselves from allowing other people to like join us in the journey because we don't think they're ready for it. But it's like, you are not a mind reader and you cannot stop yourself or stop others from being able to receive what it is you're giving. You have to open your mouth. It's not fair. You know what I mean? Like if you want people to respond to you and like understand, you have to give them the opportunity to be able to like join you in that journey where you are. And that can be hard, but I think it's definitely worth it in the end. And I think it also puts you in a place where it makes you feel strong and it makes you feel present and it makes you feel proud of yourself to be like, listen, I'm not letting my demons, I'm not letting my darkness or my shadow stop me from being able to let people in the way that they deserve to be let in and have people in my, you know, and community and stuff like that around the way that you need. So I totally get that.
You are preaching to the perfect audience right now. I don't know if you know the severity of it.
Really?
Because I literally just last week with this whole conversation with my family, I found out that I potentially could have lost my father.
Oh, wow.
But he was keeping it from all of us because he didn't want to burden us. On the same front, I be doing that to Rafaela, to my partner,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of keep my stuff from her because I don't want her to worry. But then when the shit hits the fan, then she's worried even more because I was born with a kidney disease, so I have to watch like a lot of
Mm.
things like very closely. But I've always been like I don't want to hurt somebody because of the pain I'm going through, so I kind of try to like hide it as
Mm-hmm.
well. And but she's here every day, so she's like
Absolutely.
something's wrong.
Right. And it hurts them even like it hurts you and it hurts them even more like in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's just like they can
Oh
tell,
yeah,
especially
oh
when
yeah.
it's somebody that's like around on a regular basis, like, baby, I know you.
Mhm.
Like, stop trying to play with me. Like, just let me in. And that's an act of love, an
Mhm.
act of like resistance to thinking that,
Yeah.
people are not going to be able to receive that. So I completely understand like where you're coming from with that. And kudos to you for
Yeah.
letting down the walls. Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks to dad doing it to me, I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I told him to stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't you do that because you're putting distance.
Yeah.
You're putting distance between us. And then I thought about it the same on the same front that I'm doing. I'm also putting distance in between people that I can give a chance to have the capacity to be there.
Hmm.
They can choose to, which my close people are able to vocalize their capacity.
Yeah.
And I'm not even giving them the chance.
T, T, T,
So
T, T, T.
thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you for
Because
sharing.
that's what, of course, you're welcome. Yeah, I mean, because that's what our whole thing last season was about was like the cycles of our relationships. They need to change,
Hmm. Absolutely.
and that starts with us.
Yeah. It starts with the work that we do
We got no
internally.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
got no control over nobody but ourselves.
Absolutely. And if we got control of ourselves, let's make the most of it and the best of it that we can. And I feel like that's kind of like what
Yeah.
we are kind of like stepping into like energetically, like as we are in like are getting ready to like step into like Aries season and everything and really just like taking advantage of like the energy that's like in front of us. Cause I don't know about you, but I really think of like Aries energy. Shout out to all the Aries out there. 414, okay. All the love to all the Aries out there. Happy birthday to y'all. Cause y'all be doing y'all big one. Okay. This is my little love fest for the Aries. Aries be
Mm-hmm.
out there doing a big one. They show up, they show out. Okay. They come with the fire. You know, an Aries is gonna have something to
Mm-hmm.
say because they have no fear in saying it. And I love that about them. They come with energy, they come with excitement. You feel the passion of like Aries energy like on a regular basis. And that's what this makes me think we are stepping into energetically. Like we're stepping into no fear, like no worries, like showing up, sharing our truth, being authentic, being genuine, like, and really just like going for the goal. I want you to think about as we are stepping into Aries season, like what does that look like for you vibrationally, like energetically? Not my Alexa going off in the background. How rude, Miss Girl. How dare you stop me while I'm in the middle of like my going off right now? She's so rude and so nasty and so rude. But no, going into Aries energy, I really feel like this is kind of like a season where we are allowing ourselves to fully like embrace what it means to not be scared, what it means to be brave, what it means to be energetic, what it means to be full of fire, what it means to be full of passion, and like taking those like components of our life and thinking about where does that show up for us. So I want us to think about as we're like getting into Aries season, because Aries season starts right after the summer, so the spring solstice, which is on the 20th, and then it goes all the way until April 19th, if I'm not mistaken. And I want you to think about just like over this like time period, what are you doing that allows you to really just like show up fully, like really be yourself, really like vibe out. You know what I'm saying? Be the most authentic version of you. Similarly to like what we were talking about earlier, I feel like this energy lends into that like very well about just like doing you and like not being fearful of that. And also, I think there's another level of it where it comes to taking all the things that we've learned already this year, as far as, or we've talked about like on the show, getting your actions in order. You know what I'm saying? Getting out of your own way, taking those things and really applying them during this season is going to be paramount for us. So I want us to think about as we are getting into this Aries season, this Aries energy, what is important to you and how can you hold yourself accountable to doing it, but also like being mindful of you showing up as you and whatever version that is. It doesn't have to be the most healed version. It doesn't have to be the happiest version. It doesn't have to be the sad version. Just showing up as whatever it is that you're giving and just like committing to that as you are going throughout Aries season. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
When I think of Aries season, I think of the fire. I think of like the old like farming techniques where they would burn a piece of the
Hmm.
land so that way the nutrients would like revive themselves after that fire and new sprouts
Mm.
can sprout. So that way that the soil will become like nutrient dense from that fire
Mm.
because the crops suck out all the nutrients. So in order to like get the nutrients back in the soil, they have to burn. They
Mm.
have to burn it down,
I didn't know that.
and that's what it. Yeah, yeah, and that's why that there's a saying about they try to burn us down, but they didn't know we were seeds because
Mm.
'cause burning things creates new nitrogen and all of that into the soil that gives that fuel, gives that the vitamins that you need to really grow strong.
Hmm.
Because yeah, yeah, that's what that was making me think of. And then this blood moon is in like Virgo,
Yeah.
so it's like with that combination of Aries, it's like, okay, Aries is like burn it down, let go of it. So when I think of Virgo, I think of perfectionism,
Yes.
and I'm just like, okay, it's like we got to let go of that and
Yes.
just arrive.
Yes. 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 And knowing that like there is room for imperfection because like nothing is ever like perfect. And I think it's really just like about us kind of like breaking the mold and kind of like breaking the fourth wall of life and being like, actually, is this what I want it to be right now? Is this like the cameras are set up right now? Like, is this real? This is what I have to be real. I could do something different, like, right? And it's like, actually, like, no, sister, like, you write the story, you set the foundation. That's what it makes me think of. It makes me think of like you have like this beautiful house, and then let's just say that like something happens and it does not exist anymore. And now you have to kind of like start with a new foundation, but you still have the plot of land to be able to build on, and you can recreate it whatever way that you want to, like at this point. But it's all about thinking about you have everything that allows you to really just build it up from like the very beginning. You have that same skill set. Now it's just you taking into account like what applies like today, what's relevant today, and making it do what it do, and really just like building it up and knowing that like with the foundation that's like being created, it takes time to be able to like make something happen, but you have to start. You have to start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're the snake. Shed,
Yes.
shed it, shed it, shed it. But in the end of the day, you always got you.
Yes.
You, no matter how much shedding you're doing, at the end of the day, you are the core of it all.
Yeah.
And just embrace you.
But that's so hard. Even just like saying that, like that's so hard. It sounds easy to like embrace you, but I feel like there's always like peaks and valleys with that embracing, because I also feel like
Absolutely.
even like for me, like I'm on this journey right now where I feel like there are times where you don't recognize yourself. And I think we have to hold space for that, like too. Like understanding that there will be seasons,
Yeah.
there will be times where you don't necessarily like feel super connected to who you are, even know who you are, like in this instance. But there's like this constant working towards figuring that out and not giving up on it, because at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, you are the last person that can be able to like give up on you. So please hold out for yourself, continue to like push through, continue to like be supportive of you and continue to be supportive of your growth, and know that it will be worth it in the end, even if you don't see it right now. The seeds have been planted, and it's really just about allowing it the space to like grow. And I feel like this is like the perfect time weather wise. The rain is falling, the weather is kind of like starting to break and everything like that. So this is the perfect time to allow things to like grow and expand in the way that it needs to. That felt very like looking at that.
Ethereal.
Yes. I feel like I'm like talking, I'm like, I see it in my mind. It's like the vision, like it's very like out there, very cerebral. As Susie would say, like I don't know if the girls are gonna get it, but the girls that get it, get it. Okay, nothing matters.
Exactly. Very cerebral.
Very cerebral.
It didn't go over my head.
Period. Okay, that's what matters. But no, I really feel like that's
Yeah.
what this season is like bringing. Like, okay, like start over, like make things
Yeah.
new, like create the vision. Know that everything that you've learned up until this point is to help create the new. And I think really what it boils down to is just like hammering down what is new for you and moving that forward.
Yeah, yeah. The energy that me and my partner have been going through as we're writing, we're meditating, and doing all of that
Mm-hmm.
is like, you don't look at those ugly parts of yourself and be like, I gotta get rid of that. I need to get rid of that. Instead, figure out how you can hold those parts of you's hand, because that is you. And I think that's that part of that perfectionism where we're like, ooh, we gotta get rid of that, gotta
Yeah.
get rid of that. But those peaks, those valleys, all of them have something to show you about you.
True.
But it's just being able to sit with it in a different way of like, okay, like a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Like how can what do we need to do? Because like I'm over here like holding the darkness's hand. All right, where are we going
Yeah.
next? Instead of like, ooh, get away from me, get away from me. So I'm trying to like unlearn this idea that the shedding is the bad part, because the shedding, you're in your cave, and and most snakes disappear when they're doing their shedding.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like all in your face like, ooh, I'm shedding. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need that rest
Mm-hmm.
because it's heavy.
Yeah.
You need that rest. You need that cave. So those peaks and valleys are necessary for change to come. Otherwise, if you're in that constant like up, 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 there's no room for growth.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Not up, 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 but light, 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 light.
Mm-hmm.
Things grow better in the dark.
Yeah. And there's always going to be
My roots
darkness.
are in the soil, in the dark.
There's always going to be darkness. So it's about, I think, like accepting it as such, and like, I think not allowing that to
Accepting.
derail you as well.
Yeah.
Because I think what you said that's like really powerful that I kind of like took was like embracing the shedding, like embracing the things that we're like
Yeah.
letting go of, and knowing that you can't feel guilty about the defects, because I think we all have flaws, we all have character defects. Some of them affect us in different ways, you know what I'm saying, like as we show up in the world. But I think not necessarily being like, okay, like you are a defect, I don't like you, like go away, I can't embrace you in any way, shape, or form. I feel like that gives it light in a way that helps it to like grow in a way that it becomes your reality, and then that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's all about like allowing it to exist and like speaking to it and like not being shameful of it. And I think that that's like what this Aries season is like bringing up, not feeling shame like in that way. Because I think that when we feel shame, we allow ourselves to spiral, and then that creates the negative reality, that creates the negative response, and that creates us being like on that hamster wheel that we find it difficult to like get off of. I think that like right now this is
Yeah.
kind of like an opportunity for us to really just like be very intellectual, be very like clever, be very like clear cut like in our decision making, and then just like being very like honest and open, and just not holding anything back right now. Letting it all
Yes.
hang out, proverbially, is kind of like the vibe that I'm like going for here. Because when we do that, I think it makes other people recognize us as a fully realized person, a fully realized human being. I think it also is kind of like, it allows us to look at ourselves and like be like, actually, like, even though sometimes I may not be fucking with this, this is still part of me and I still love it, because this is what it's gotten me up until this point. Like I'm still alive, I'm still kicking or whatever, whatever. And it's been something that I had to do to survive. Now, is this something that I need to do to continue to survive and thrive? You can decide what you want to do with that. But I think really like this Aries season, and just like the season we're stepping into with like the eclipses and everything like taking place, we've got Mercury retrograde happening, whatever, whatever. We're in the middle of like a Venus retrograde. Like I know that that's like going on. So like all of this energy is allowing us to really just like break and release whatever is not working for us, like in our relationships, like in our communications, like in our like interactions, and being able to like move forward from that in a way that feels good, and a way that feels very authentic to who we are now, not who we think we need to be in order to be seen as palatable or liked. And like moving forward, like in that way, I think is like really powerful underneath this fiery energy that we're stepping into. Big Phoenix energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, big Venus energy, literally, because it's the new beginning of the astrology cycle. It's also I don't know if I'm saying this right, Mekisha.
Hmm.
It's like Mex ICA.
Hmm.
It's the Aztec New Year
Okay.
as well. So it's like all of the, it's just like, or a new. Here
Hmm.
we go, here we go, here we
Hmm.
go. So that Phoenix is rising from the ashes, like that was so beautiful to like envision, because it's like most people are like, oh, new, starting new, something new is scary. But when you say a phoenix and the ashes, I get an excitement
Yes.
towards the new
Yes.
and not so much of the fear of the
That's
new.
good.
So I appreciate you saying that.
Listen, I
Yeah.
need me
And
some
now I'm
excitement.
like even more curious about your tarot pull. I'm like,
Yes.
ooh, give
What
it
is the
to
tea?
us.
Listen, of course, you know, it all falls in line with the vibe. Okay. And of course, like when I pulled this originally, I was like, okay, like, so I think I had like a completely different interpretation at first. But then when I really sat with it, I was like, oh no, this is Queen of Flags. So our card for the season of Aries is going to be the Queen of Flags. And whenever I see this card, it makes me think of RuPaul, Sister RuPaul. Okay. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, RuPaul.
Mm-hmm.
I love this card because obviously it gives love to our trans community as well. I love the Queen of Flags technically because this is going to be our traditional Queen of Swords. Now, in the traditional tarot, whenever I pull the Queen of Swords, I think of that as like, and I have to say it real. I'm gonna always keep it real. It's like the bitch card. Like I'm a real ass bitch. Like that's what that card like gives me. Like I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. And sometimes, like when the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Swords in traditional tarot here with the Queen of Flags, to be dubbed as like the Ice Queen, right? It can be seen as cold. It can be seen as bitchy, but it can also, but it's seen as truthful. It's seen as honest. It's seen as very, okay, like I'm not mincing words here. I'm keeping it 100. And I feel like that's what this Aries energy is like welcoming in, keeping it 100, keeping it honest, keeping it truthful, not mincing words necessarily, like just saying what's on your heart instead of going through like all of these mental gymnastics in order to be the sound a certain type of way. It's like just keep it real. Be fucking you. Be truthful. Be honest. And I think that that's what this energy is calling for us, like in this season. Like instead of going through like all the mental gymnastics and going through all of the rigmarole of, oh, it's got to be seen as this, it's got to be heard as this, like blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. It's like just say what you need to say and be very genuine in your, you know, your talkings, your dealings, your doings. Like I think that that's what this is calling out for.
Mm. Ooh.
What is this making you think? Because I see those wheels turning.
Well, because I feel like I already jumped into that energy. Because like I I had a conversation with my parents. It was a 4-hour conversation, and I said shit that I have never said because I've always been afraid of their reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it, and I was just like, and I was received.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was very like reflective on their end, and they came back with, I want to be better. And I was like never ever expecting that to come out of their mouths. So it was really like amazing that I finally like stood in my ground, said what I had to say. Oh, she's Louise. Sorry.
No worries.
Heather.
That was the universe affirming your
we're
decisions.
recording.
Sorry, Heather.
Anyways, why does everybody want to call me all of a sudden? Nobody ever calls me, but now we're recording. They want to call.
The people want to talk. Okay, the energy is moving.
Geez.
Okay,
Right?
they feel it. No, but you were sharing
Yeah,
how
but no,
this
that
was.
was definitely an affirmation.
Yeah, how you were sharing like during this time,
Yeah.
like you were able to like share with them, and they were able to receive it. And I also think the other thing that I want to like shout you out on is you were able to feel that and like respond to that instead of like allowing yourself to go down the same road again and go down the hamster wheel again. You were like, actually, I'm gonna make this time different. I'm gonna say what's actually like what I'm feeling, and I'm hopeful that it will be received. So it was like divine timing, like in it's like at its core, like
Yeah.
I'm following what I feel within myself, but then also my people are in a space now where historically I've been under the assumption that they're not going to be able to receive it the way that I need for them to, but they're in a place now where they can and they're willing to, and they're willing to like take ownership and like move forward. And that's powerful like on their end as well, because I'm sure it's taken them a while to get there too. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all both were in a space to show up and receive each other in your most authentic light in a way that I think is healthy and helpful for all parties involved. And I think that that is universal magic.
Absolutely. That's why I was having that smile while you were reading this card. I was like, oh shit, I'm already in that energy. Like,
See?
here we go. Here we go.
Yes, I love that. Perfect. No, so I want to give,
So,
I always love to give like the little like background, just, because obviously you shared how this was like connecting for you. And I always love to give like the little reading that comes along with the card. So I thought I would share a little bit more about like the Queen of Flags. And we can talk about like whatever this like brings up for you as well. But the key words that I came across
okay.
or came up with for the Queen of Flags is clever, clear cut, and intellect. It says the Queen of Flags knows exactly who she is and knows how to cut through the BS to get a clear answer. The Queen of Flags is someone who is vibrant, clever, meticulous, and intellectual, both in practice and in energy. She's straight up with her feelings and lets people know where she's checking in from. Some people see this as being a little too upfront or too cold, but the Queen of Flags knows that she is operating from a space of openness and transparency. She uses her logic in order to make decisions that help her process and move forward in her life. Critical thinking skills are what rules the court of the Queen of Flags, and they tend to be very logically sound. How are you making sensible choices right now and being honest in your connections? Your bluntness is key right now. Keep it 100 and make decisions that help bring fairness and logic into the fold while cutting straight to the point. So I take this as, and the way I think about it is like, and I can only speak for myself because I'm really over here. I'm like, how do I make this sound fluffy and beautiful? And I'm like, bitch, shut up. The way that I think about this is really just you have to be you. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be you and like say like it's actually showing up in a sense instead of thinking about how it's going to like be received or be interpreted because you don't want people to think about you a certain type of way. It's all about this perception. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, fuck the perception. Fuck the perception is like the theme of Aries right now. Like, say what it is and mean what you say and be genuine and be transparent and be authentic and be you. Be who you are for your pride. Okay? Like, and own that. Really just like accept that. And I think that that's going to be the balm for the soul as you're going throughout Aries season. Burn that shit up. Let them feel a little fire. Let them feel a little pizzazz. If they not fucking with anything, okay, goodbye. Okay, move on. Run along. That part. So I think that that's what Aries season is really just asking us to like embrace right now with the energy of speaking up, sharing our truth and not sharing the truth that we think we have to share in order to be seen a certain type of way. Just keep it real, 100. And that's all that I think that this Aries season is like asking us to do while we also take the lessons of doing the work and getting ourselves out of that prison that we have like put ourselves in. It's like taking those things and really moving that forward in order to be the fully realized, authentic versions of ourselves. And I think that that's what this energy is really like helping to support us with.
yeah, definitely. Like, that it keeps bringing me back to that of I finally was able to sit in a place and release that fear and or release not only the fear of not I think that what you said earlier it was like the way that I spoke to my folks. I spoke to them thinking that hoping that they would receive me differently, but I think what I did this time is that I I took away that hope and I just showed up. I was like, however I'm going to be received is how I'm going to be received, but this is how I want to show up. So I'm going to do this and stop being fearful and letting that fear drive how I arrive. And so this time I was like, I don't care about the outcome, so this is how I'm going to arrive.
That was a bar, I just have to say. Not letting that fear drive how I arrive. You ate that, okay? That is the mantra.
I dabble in poetry.
Okay, listen, you ate that. That's the mantra for the month, okay? Don't let that fear drive how you arrive. And it's like, okay, mama, I hear you. I see you. And I can like own that. Because I'm thinking about that even in the sense of like not even personal, just like work stuff. You know what I'm saying? Scared about how certain things are going to go, like whatever. And it's like, don't let that fear drive how you show up and how you arrive. And it's like, no matter what happens, you're still going to be able to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't take you outside of yourself. Like, you're not going to like spontaneously combust. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will be fine. People will receive it. You know what I'm saying? And how they receive it has nothing to do with you at the end of the day. It's really about you just like being authentic to you. And I think that that primes the pump and builds stamina for you to continue to like own that and take ownership of who you are, where you're showing up from, what vibes you're giving out. Like, it just kind of like helps you to really just like, it's like we in school, like when I used to teach, we used to call them like at bats. So it's like another opportunity to have like a time to like show up and like do the work. And the more that you have like those opportunities, the more proficient you become in doing that. You know what I'm saying? And proficient in really like taking ownership of that. So I feel like this is kind of like a time for you to really just like keep throwing the ball. You know what I mean? Keep doing the do and keep showing up, and it's going to be great for you. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even as simple as this podcast, I was afraid to do a lot of hosting by myself and just kind of being the face. I was like terrified, but the more and more I did it, the easier it got.
Yes.
The easier it's been. So,
and look at you now.
And now I'm finding it fun.
Yes. It's like, ooh.
I still got some work, but I'm enjoying it.
That's all that, as long as you're enjoying it, because the people are enjoying you. People are enjoying you. You know, I love you. You know, I love being able to do this with you. And I know that the people probably also are listening. They're like, we love y'all. That's why people keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? We found our joy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And talking with people like you makes this so much easier and so much more fun.
Yes.
So thank you for arriving as you, boo. All of you.
Absolutely. It's the least I can do.
The peaks and valleys.
Absolutely.
And the study buns.
Yes, the study buns. Okay, listen, and I'm grateful that you all here at Queer 5, you as like the listeners and everything like that. Like, I'm grateful to be received in that way too, and also being able to be like have the space to have space to show up in this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it could always be something different. It could be very like a student, you know, I'm a beautiful student, but it's like, no, bitch, let it go. Let it all hang out. Be you. And that's what allows people to like embrace you as you embrace yourself. I feel like it's like a symbiotic relationship. It's a very healthy, healing relationship for us all. And I love being a part of it. And I'm thankful to be here.
I don't know why I feel drawn to share this, one of my favorite lyrics with you, but because I was like, we're bringing all of us. We're bringing the messy. We're bringing the not so messy. And it made me think of this lyric. It says, a masterpiece is painted in the dark. We are a masterpiece painted in the dark.
Yes.
I'll have to send you the
Please
the
do, because now
lyric.
I have to hear the song. Okay. That makes
It's Kolohe Kai, Around and Around.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out after we get offline. Listen.
I'll send it.
Please do. This also makes me think that, and I just have to say this because it made me think about it. Because it did speak to me in a sense of, I don't know, I feel like over the course of my life, I don't know. I just feel like I've operated in darkness, and I hate to admit that sometimes. Like, I feel like my life is all about kind of like getting out of those dark places. You know what I mean? Because there's so many that are like happening. You know what I'm saying? So many things that are like going on, whatever. And I feel like a lot of my life has been lived in the dark. But I also feel like those dark places have helped me to become who I am today. And I also feel like there should be a sense of pride around it instead of a sense of shame. And I think that I'm moving more into the space of like embracing that.
That's the holding the hand of the dark.
Yeah.
That work that me and Rafi are doing.
Yeah.
Instead of like looking at it and holding that shame, looking at it and being like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because now I know my worth.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Absolutely.
But I got the lyric. It says, you don't have to be afraid you're gonna fall apart. Sometimes life's a masterpiece you paint in the dark.
That's a word. Ooh, can you say that again? Can you run it back for the people one more time, please? Because that definitely...
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. You don't have to be afraid you're going to fall apart. Sometimes life's a masterpiece you paint in the dark.
Sometimes life's a masterpiece you paint in the dark. Yeah, and you're going to fall apart, because I've done a lot of that, okay? But we still kicking.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Routine.
I love these monthlies with you meeting at the Vajiji.
Okay. We're working the Vajiji tonight. I love it. I loved it. And I'm like, every time we get on here, I feel like we just ramble on and on and on, give the people a little bit more every single time. You know what I'm saying? And it's a blessing to be able to do it with you. It's a blessing to be able to do it with the fam and have this little check-in. It's like our monthly little, we call it a little Sunday service. You know what I'm saying? When we get together on Sundays and stuff like that. And I absolutely adore being able to like do this with you and being able to connect with the people. And also it helps me to like frame my month, frame my zodiac season. Like, so I'm like, Aries season, she's gonna be a mouthy one. And I wanna actually like embrace that. I wanna actually embrace being a cantankerous bitch. Like, and I'm going to. Okay? I'm gonna say what the hell I need to say. And I'm gonna be honest about it. Okay? And I don't care how you feel about it. Because I need to do this for me. Damn it. And I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own that with my study bun. Okay? Study bun coming in action. She was ready to go. Listen, okay? Hair done. Pressed, dyed, laid to the side. Like, hair's ready. She came out the gate ready to tear up this Aries season. Brand new zodiac season. Okay? Getting back to, I started burning candles again. Okay, started getting back on my voodoo daddy shit. Like, she's like, no, we're not playing out here. Listen, like, I'm ready. So, get in there with me. Get ready or get lost.
I'm sitting in the Honda. I'm ready.
Okay, you come. You in the passenger seat? Okay, listen, don't put me in the driver's seat because
I'm ready.
I'm a terrible driver. Okay, but listen, I will pay for the Uber.
I got my seatbelt on. Let's go.
Okay, period. Listen, thank you for trusting me because I hate driving. Oh my God, so I live in New York still. And they're like, why don't you live in New York? And I'm like, girl, because I'm gonna have to drive places. They're like, other places got Uber. I'm like, girl, that's expensive. Like, I'd rather be driving myself. But no, okay, I love sitting in the car. I'm passenger princess, period. But if you want to drive somewhere, we could go. Okay, I'll take you for a ride.
I'll drive, but we'll roll the window down so you can yell at everybody.
Period. Okay, I like that. I like that plan. That sounds great. Coming to a city near you. Okay, stay away from us because we gonna make it fun for y'all. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes, it's gonna be great.
But yeah. Well, thank you again. Thank you again for another reading, another little sipping of the tea for the next season.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited. You warm my heart.
You warm my heart, my soul, my everything. Like, listen, this is such a blessing to be here, to be able to come back. Thank y'all for having me back again and again and again. I was going to say, because this is 3 times, okay? I'm like, this is the 4th time. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th time I've showed up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I love that. Gotta keep going. So I'm very grateful. Thank you all to all the listeners and everything like that out there. I hope that you found something powerful in this. I hope that you felt seen in some way, shape, or form. And I do hope that this Aries season, this new zodiac season we find ourselves in, being the hero, you know what I'm saying? Really just like showing up, taking this first sign in this new zodiac cycle and making it yours. Really, this is the time to show up and do the damn thing. And I'm grateful to be able to do it with you and cannot wait to check in with all the tea for Taurus season.
Absolutely. And also, for those people who this is the first time hearing Gigi and not already following Gigi, where can they follow you? Because I know they want more.
Okay, perfect. I will always tell the people where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter, which is, or X, formerly known as Twitter. But I do live on X a little bit more. But you can find me Gangsta Gurry, Gangsta with an A, because I don't do that ER buster shit over here. I know Gangster, okay? Gangster, Gurry. You can find me. I do have a TikTok as well, but I don't use her. I don't really use social media anymore. I'm getting old. I think that's what I'm coming to terms with. So yeah, you can find me over there. I'm getting old. I'm coming to terms with that right now. I'm so sorry. I was having a whole little rant. I'm like, damn, coach, you getting old. You don't use social medias. No more. Apologize.
Well, a lot of the social media stuff, all the drama and all the monies and all the politics and all the crap going on with it. It's just not a safe space anymore. So I don't blame you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, we're doing our best.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
we got a newsletter coming at you soon.
Ooh. See,
Yeah, we're going old school.
yes, we love that. Take it back. Give the people something to read.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening. We love you so much. Until next month, Vajiji will be back.
Yes.
Tap that follow button, give us a 5-star rating and review, and hey, your review might end up on the show. This podcast is organically grown by Rafaela Landestoy, Leah Jackson, and myself, V. Vasquez. Editor and sound designer, Leah Jackson of Puka Puka Creative. Original music, produced by Basque. His music is amazing. And emotional support by our fur babies, Nugget and Pukalani.
We in the building.
You all sound good. You look good. Yes.
Okay. Came ready. Put my hair into a study bun. Okay. A study bun.
bun.
Okay. She came ready.
Study bun.
Mine's in a slutty bun.
Slutty bun.
Just a slutty bun.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we got that.
Yes.
We got that on record then. That's great.